Hey guys, what's up? Mr. Surplus Nut. Just bringing a video on my Japanese Arisaka type99 that I purchased to add it to my collection of surplus rifles, and I'm really excited with this one. Um, Hopefully you can see the before on this rifle, how I purchased it and I received it. Just like every surplus rifle that you expect to get, it was in pretty rough shape. The rifle, I purchased it from Victory Arms Ammunition. My friend over there, Andrew, was able to hook me up with this rifle. I told him this was one of the rifles that I needed to almost complete my collection. On the first video I said that I needed this one to complete it, but now I will still need my M1 Garand, which is going to be my next rifle that I will be looking to purchase. Now, going back to this here, Andrew over there, Victory Arms Ammunition, the owner, had this rifle listed. Again, it's a Japanese Arisaka. It's not a last-ditch rifle by any means, even though, as you guys can see on the first video that I made on this rifle when I first got it, it had, the only thing that it had that was last ditch was the safety knob. So I went ahead and ordered, which is really hard to find these because they got some of these that are reproduction. You might not be able to tell the difference. Some of these are reproduction, but I was able to find an original. I think I paid for this one like about $100 and, believe it or not, $130. An original safety knob, and it had one of the last ditch safety knob on it. And I really think the rifle, this is not a matching rifle, but I think it had somebody put that safety on there, because nothing on this rifle indicates that it's a last ditch Arisaka. Now, going back to what I was saying, some of the things that you can tell on these, if they're a last ditch, it'll be like the poor manufacturing process. They're like very crude. The back here, it will not have this nice. Now, keep in mind, everything that I'm showing you now is after I totally refurbished the rifle. Again, go to my first video. I will try to put these two videos together, and then most likely it'll probably also be individually. But on the before and after video, you will probably see the first video I did with how I received the rifle, and then the this video that you're watching right now. And also I'll post them up, upload them individually. But anyways, the way they will do these, they were very poorly rushedly made, just to get them out of the factory, especially towards the end of the war, World War II in the Pacific. They knew they were losing the war, so they wanted to get every soldier out there with a rifle that they can try to make their last effort to win the war. Obviously, that did not happen, and so that's why they're called last ditch rifles, because they wanted to get them out really quick. So again, one of the things that would tell you when you buy an Arisaka, and one thing, guys, these rifles are completely dried up. You really don't find Arisakas in the surplus market anymore. All of these are bringbacks. These are not rifles that came in like Yugoslavian SKSs, where you know, they come in a crate, or the Mazda Nagans 9130s that you have a crate, like you know, classic firearms will sell them, Ohio Gun, AIM surplus. These don't come like these. You know, for the majority of what I've researched on these, they're all bringbacks, meaning that they were rifles that were captured by the American soldiers, and they brought them back. Now, most of these will have the mum remove like this one does. Okay, but again, this is the difference between a last ditch rifle and one that is not. Most of the last ditch rifles again will be done towards the end of the war, like near 1944, 45, around there. This is a 1941. I'm gonna give you the specs on this rifle in a little bit, but yeah, you will see like on the last ditch, it'll have the butt end plate. It'll be like made out of wood with just 2 or 3 nails nailed into it. Again, you won't have all of them didn't have that nice machine safety knob. Another thing that you can tell is that on the bolt knob, it's not like a nice round bolt knob. A lot of times they tend to look a little bit more like on the square type. And just the machining. Another thing, they will not have the anti-aircraft sight like this one does have. Let me see if I can try to do this with one hand. Show it to you guys. This one does have the anti-aircraft sight. Again, this rifle is completely redone. I refurbished the wood on it. The wood that the Japanese will use, it's a beautiful wood. You will have to see this rifle in person, because according to, you can probably see it there with my, as I do the video. See how it gets like half from the buttstock, it starts getting dark, and then as you move it, it evens out the shape. It's just a very, very, very nice wood. Obviously, again, I refinished this rifle, and but yeah, that's the difference between the last ditched rifles. Another thing that they wouldn't have, they eliminated doing the top handguard from here on, and they would just have the bare barrel exposed. They even had different front band that secures the barrel to the actual stock. They had a different band. Obviously, this one is missing the cleaning rod. I already ordered a brand new cleaning rod for it. It's on the mail, getting shipped to me, and I ordered a reproduction sling. It's reproduction sling, and then I will be also getting the dust cover. I want to try to get this rifle up to like specs, like when it was issued. I'm getting a reproduction sling, and also the I will try to get later on that monopod that they had, which is kind of weird because I've been watching all documentaries on the military channels. I even have them on DVD, like the War in the Pacific, World War II in color, and all that stuff. And every time you see all these Japanese soldiers marching, I've always seen their Arisaka. I've paused it on my TV, and I've always seen, that they do have the obviously your cleaning rod. They'll have the dust cover on the rifles, but I never saw them all marching with that monopod on there. So I don't know if that was something that they will take off. The rifle is capable of installing it, getting that installed. But again, as they were marching in their squadrons and stuff, I never saw them, with that monopod on there. So I'm gonna buy it. I really don't like the looks of it. I'm just gonna buy it and keep it to have a complete Arisaka. But one thing I'm gonna try to keep on there, it will be the dust cover. But that's pretty much it, man, on the difference between and again, I'm not an expert by any means on Arisaka rifles. This is my first one and the only one I would probably want to get. There's a couple of variants. You got the long rifle one, which is a little longer than this one. You have the 6.5 that they had before they went over to the 7.7. They have a kind of like, I think, of a paratrooper type Just like pretty much on most World War II rifles, there's gonna be a few little variants. Like on the Mosin Nagant, you will have your 9130, your M44. Then then you go to your carbines, you have your M44 and your M38, and like that. But anyways, I just wanted a really nice one of this Arisaka type, and this is pretty much like the main one that you might want to have if you just want to have one for your collection, which would be the Type 99. So that was just a quick little explanation. Again, by no means I'm not an expert. I've been researching it. I never really wanted to get one of these, but I realized that I watched this guy from the military channel, and he has two really nice Arisakas, and how he said it, if you don't have an Arisaka in your surplus connection, he says it just like that, he goes, you suck. And then I, researching obviously the history on these rifles, I went ahead and decided to get one. Now, I have not found, this was just, I would say by providence from God, that he knows how much I love surplus rifles, that I was just researching on, just looking in Google's, surplus distributors, and because the most relevant is it's Classic Firearms, which I just finished getting. Again, I mentioned in the first video, a really nice Enfield. Today, I believe it's November the 12th, 2017. As of now, they've just received from Samco Global that they went out of business. Their a second batch of Enfield #4 Mark 1s, and like about a month ago, I purchased one from them, and I did the same thing that I did to this rifle, which I want. Let me turn it around so you guys can see it. Give me 1 second here, see if I can try to do this with one hand. Yeah. So, no, this rifle came out exceptionally, guys. So, yeah, I just, about a month ago, I purchased an Enfield. That's another rifle that I needed for my collection. Now I got my Enfield, I got my Arisaka. I just kind of like need I'm going to be doing an update video on all my surplus rifles. I got the Enfield, I got the Arisaka. I just need my M1 Garand, which I think I'll be getting that this year coming up. But anyways, that was kind of like a quick, long little history on what I know about the difference between the last ditched rifles of the Arisaka type. But then again, yeah, I purchased these from looking through the Googles for surplus distributor, and I came across Victory Arms and Munition. When I went on their site, they have a really nice layaway plan that you can purchase through them like that. That's how I acquired this rifle. Called the owner over there, Andrew, and he actually had this rifle for a very, very good price. So that's the marking there, the Nagoya Arsenal. And again, this rifle, which I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about it. I don't care about showing the serial, guys. It's in the 35,000s. So Andrew over there, on all the surplus rifle that he sells, that he lists, he's pretty good on obtaining like the information of the rifle and searching it, and listing it as pretty close to the real thing. But anyways, I got this rifle for a pretty, I would say, a very, very good price. Again, guys, these rifles are bringbacks. This is not, again, like Classic Arms, any surplus distributor. Oh, they'll post it, they'll list it. Oh, I just got a crate of these. These don't come in crates. These, if you guys find one of these, get your hands on it, because not just overall in all type of surplus rifles, they're drying up, but especially these Arisakas, and I think they're gonna go up in price. Um, but this is a really nice one. So anyways, just to give you a quick view of it, I re-blued the pretty much most of the parts. On the first video I mentioned that right around here, the receiver, as you guys can see, it had like surface rust and stuff, and that I was gonna go ahead and re-blue the whole thing. Well, you know what, it turned out that I was able to get what I used to clean the metal from the metal parts, which is Metal Rescue from Home Depot. You can dip anything rusted on that thing in a bucket, and in an hour or two, depending how bad it is, you pull it out and it's completely in the white. So I didn't have to do this to the action. I got some of that with dope 4.0 steel wool, and I was able to just kind of like scrape it off the bluing, and believe it or not, everything just came off. Obviously, that's where you can see it in the first video that it was really bad. Obviously there you're gonna have the area where the mum was, but everywhere else in this rifle you can see it, where I was able to take it off with steel wool. It was just very surface. I mean, probably putting Croyle or WD-40 and hitting it lightly with steel wool, it would have cleaned out okay too. This area here was all rusted. Another area, let me just kind of like show you guys. Let me put the this you got to be very gentle with. If you get one with anti-aircraft sights, you don't want to leave those little two rods open and be flipping the rifle around and breaking it. But anyways, in my first video, this is the bottom of the rifle. You could see it, how all the parts came out nice, and as I show you the metal parts, always keep track of the wood, how nice it came out. I use sand the wood down. I use tung oil, but I didn't want it at first. I was gonna leave it like real shiny, but I wanted to tone it down, so I got steel wool and I rubbed it down to tone it a little bit. I like that kind of like it's got a sheen to it, but it still has that smooth military feel, kind of like to the wood. I mean, guys, you go through these woods. I mean, this thing was full of battle scars and everything. And somebody might say, oh, but you know what? You should have left it like that. You ruined the rifle. You took the value of it. No. This rifle right now, I did not. In surplus rifles, you got a group of guys that are purists and the ones that like to refurbish their gun to their unissued condition, or when they came out of the plant or the factory. And that does not really change the value, man. Especially if these things are dry and scarce. If you want to try to resell one of these, I guarantee you're going to get pretty much the same money as if it was just left intact. And as long as you don't sporterize it, I think just, bringing it back to how this one looks. I mean, I didn't modify the rifle. I didn't get the original stock that you guys see here. And I chopped it here. And I, sanded it and made it I didn't sporterize it. The rifle is intact. Nothing's been done to it. It's just that the stock was sanded down. Okay, there's no gashes, nothing on it, dents. And then it was just all the parts got re-blued. I mean, why would that change the value on the... So yeah, you're gonna have that group of guys that will still, even on this video, they'll comment and they will still tell you, oh no, I don't care what you say. You got no knowledge about antique and surplus rifles, the patina and this and that, and then you have the other camp that feels that getting an Arisaka like this, there will always be a market. There will always be a market for this type of camp. For the guys that like the rifles, completely refurbished, that you can enjoy it how they would look when they came out. If you have rifles that they're intact, how they came out of the war zone, good for you. If you like that and you like them old and all beat up and a beater, and just so you think it retains the collectability, this one will retain the collectability also. I guarantee you that. Because you're always going to have that group that want to see the rifle how it was issued to whichever Japanese soldier had this rifle. So just to show you guys, the cup came out really nice. It had rust everywhere. The bottom of it, the trigger guard, if you guys see the first video, the trigger guard, it was a good example of how when I received it, that's how it came out. And I used the Brunel's Oxford Blue solution, which is awesome. I like it better than the Birchwood Casey. You don't have to use water to rinse it down. You just apply it with the cotton. The more you work it in the metal as it's been applied with 4O steel wool, the more it sips in there. You just gotta degrease the parts really good, and that's it. So yeah, guys, this is the bottom of the rifle. I mean, it came out beautiful. This thing is like one Arisaka that is not gonna leave my collection. And like I've said in many videos, my sons will probably inherit all my surplus rifles, and especially the Arisakas, guys. These things, again, they don't come in a crate. These are bring back. So if you can get one, yeah, you know, at this point in time, I don't know if you're gonna find one that's gonna be. Let me try to get this back on here again. I don't know if you're gonna find one that's gonna be. That's gonna be a you know, serial matching with the mum intact. If you find that, great. If you find that, that's awesome. Most of them are gonna have the mum removed, because that was the symbol of their god, which was in that case their emperor. So you know, it's gonna have it removed. The serials might not match. It'll be a mismatching rifle where you might have some parts that might match or not. In this case, I really don't care about this one. I just care that it's really, really beautiful and it came out really nice. All the parts, the wood, it's exceptional. The condition of this rifle, it's incredible. And now when I get the reproduction sling that I ordered from World War Supply, and the 24-inch cleaning rod and the dust cover, and then I'm going to try to search for a bayonet that is from Nagoya, the Nagoya plant, at least to try to get that pretty close. And if not, I'll just get a reproduction one. I already know where they have them for like $60, and just try to get the rifle, you know, as close as possible to original. Again, I like how they had these drain ports, one here and one in the bottom, so when they go in the jungle and the rivers and the, you know, the rifles, if they will get wet, they will drain out. Again, the action is built on a Mauser action. It's supposed to be the strongest action on any World War II rifle. There was a guy, I can't remember his name, I even mentioned it on the first video, that they tested all these World War II rifles to try to shoot them with like reloads at extreme pressure to try to see if they will blow up, and this one came out that it would hold the most pressure or something. Very smooth action. It's incredible. The bolt breaks down extremely nice and quick. This thing is like, I mean, like how the Japanese are making cars now, the Camry, the Nissans. This thing was done with a lot of intelligence behind it for the time of and period of the rifle. So yeah, so then this is my Type 99 Arisaka, made in the Nagoya arsenal, that I completely refurbished. It's got the anti-aircraft sights. Missing the cleaning rod, but I'm gonna be getting that. Completely, all the bluing's been retouched on it. This front band, you'll see it in the first video. It was incredible. I took it all apart. Look at the wood. Beautiful, beautiful wood. And hopefully, Andrew, you can check this video out. And because you saw this rifle, you held it in your hands, how it looked before, and now you can see it how it looks now. And so yeah, and just giving you a little bit of history on what I gathered from Andrew over there, Victory arms ammunition on this rifle, and that's what he had listed on it, and that's what drew me to get this rifle. And it's a Japanese Arisaka style 99,